My mom is a doctor, so my whole life I got like exposure to medicine from like hearing her stories, and my whole life I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was coming to college, but I told myself I knew one thing: I did not want to be a doctor because I'm afraid of needles. So after kind of my like freshman year, I met with some people from the college advising center here at Lewis and Clark, and they were like, "Oh, you're interested in pre-med?" And I said, "No, I'm not. Why do you ask?" And they were like, "Oh, because your schedule is like the schedule we recommend for people who are interested in pre-med." So all the electives that I had chosen just because I was interested in them were like the perfect classes to set me up on the pre-med path. And I took a deeper look into it, and I was like, "Wow, helping people and getting to learn more about the human body and chemistry sounds pretty great. So maybe I can get over this needle thing." Which thankfully I have. I'm currently working as a medical scribe in the ER for legacy hospitals in Portland. So I work, or in the Portland area. So I work at 6 different hospitals between Portland and Tualatin, Gresham, and Vancouver, Washington. So I get to see a lot of different variety from the different hospitals, and I get to work with a different provider almost every shift as well. So I get to experience a lot of different physicians because everyone has a little bit different style. And yeah, I follow them around. I'm like a fly on the wall, and I complete the medical chart for all of the patients. So listening to their history and helping write out like the physician's plan and keeping updates about what's happening, and making sure all like the discharge instructions are all together. And also just being like a little push for the physician, like, "Oh, those lab results came back," or "Oh, you told me to remind you that you need to go tell room 12 about their results. Their x-ray just came back." So I get to be like a little assistant as well. Working in the ER was a really big appeal just because you get to see a bunch of different things. So there's people who come in with rashes and dermatology complaints and people having chest pain. You get to learn about like different reading EKGs and chest x-rays and cardiac complaints, or patients with trauma. I work at Emmanuel, which is a level 2 trauma center, and so we get patients who are coming from really bad car accidents, or who are experiencing like respiratory distress, or who are in cardiac arrest. So you get to really have a wide variety, and you get to see patients from all sorts of different areas. The beauty of the ER is that anyone will get care, so patients who don't have insurance, patients who are houseless, patients of all ages, patients who don't speak English, anyone can get care in the ER, so you get to see a really wide population of people as well, which is also exciting. And yeah, the ER is just crazy. About myself, I've learned that I do not function at 100% at 4 a.m. And I've learned different tricks to keep myself awake when we're in a lull and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you've got 3 hours left of your shift. Been able to like do some jumping jacks and stretching to like kind of wake my body up, which is something that I never thought I'd have to do. I think I've learned that I don't want to pursue being in emergency medicine. As an educational tool, it's been really exciting and invaluable to experience a really broad variety of presentations and complaints. But I really like stories with a beginning and an end, and the ER can be frustrating in that way because sometimes you will get a sign-out patient who came in at the end of the previous provider's shift, so you don't really know the full story. You just get the end of their story, or you might see someone at the very end of your shift and you just order a bunch of tests and tell their story to the next doc, and then you go home. So there's definitely, when I get in my car and I'm driving home, usually like 2 or 3 patients where I don't know where they ended up, or maybe it was a big trauma that came in and went straight to surgery, and I don't know how that surgery went. So I definitely want to see like the beginning and end of a story. So I think I'd be more interested in primary care. Going forward, I'm going to graduate in like a month and a half, which is crazy. But I plan to take a couple gap years after that. I'm on the younger side, so I definitely want to take some time to just mature as a person and be able to travel and not be in school for a while, and continue to do scribing and get more medical experience. And yeah, I'm just really looking forward to staying in Portland. I'm a native Oregonian, and I really like living in the Pacific Northwest. So I'm excited to be able to explore more of the Pacific Northwest that I haven't been able to while I've been in school for the past 4 years. And hopefully I'll get to stay in Portland and go to OHSU in a couple of years.